All right. Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Banner's Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. As a matter of fact, going to see Crystal Poche this morning. Thank goodness. I've been needing it ever since the SEC Championship trip when I locked up sleeping in a hotel room for 3 nights. And ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. It's a quick reminder, real quick before we get rolling again. Counting down the days. A week from Sunday is LSU baseball first pitch banquet. Someone is going to win 2 seats at the ProCharge table with Terrio and the ProCharge crew. Again, a week from Sunday. That's food, that's booze, that's the entire LSU baseball team, that's guest speakers, that's auction, that's great night. So I believe they're like $100 a head. So pretty good value and a really good night. So anyway, go to ProCharge, any of the ProCharge EV social media. Go to their Instagram, their Facebook, their Twitter, and you can see how you can enter ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com, at ProCharge EV on all the socials. All right, we'll say some good mornings here. Basketball lost last night to Florida. Man, we talked about it. LSU was going to need to get that win because it's likely going to be a while before the Tigers get another one. So, this was a team that put up 56 points. You continue to see the offensive numbers plummet as the Tigers have now gotten into conference play and they're playing better teams that match up with them physically. LSU was just 32% from the floor. And after the game, Matt McMahon said, look, we got to work harder to get better shots that can fall. But the reality is you're just limited. Like, you don't have shooters and you don't have, aside from KJ, you just don't have guys that can score the basketball, man. It's just, on a given night, someone, could help you. Like, Adam Miller gave you 16 a couple nights ago. Well, he scored 8 last night. His shooting woes continued, 1 of 8 from 3. Against Arkansas, Trey Hannibal went off. Great, and you may see that in a given night where there's a one-off and a guy may score for you, but your only consistent presence is going to be KJ Williams. He had 23 last night. He went for 23 and 8. So, 23 and 7 last night. But Trey Hannibal plays hard. He gave you 12 rebounds, and 5 of those were offensive. So he kind of kept possessions alive. But boy, this team just doesn't have shooters, man. They just 32% from the floor, 17% from 3. You just can't win basketball games against good teams when you can't put the ball in the hole. You got to be able to score. Unless if you're Virginia, defensively, and you're holding teams to 40 points. You can't win games at this level scoring 56. It's what we talked about Arkansas. LSU's win. It was great. Like, I would have believed, if you'd have told me LSU would have scored 61, I'd have believed you. I would not have believed they would have scored 61 and won the game. So, and now the real stretch begins. It's sad to say, but it's going to be a while before LSU wins another basketball game, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to let you realistically know what's ahead. Your next 3 are all against ranked teams, and I believe 6 of your next 7 are against ranked teams, or 5 of your next 6 are against ranked teams, and it's not going to go well. So, all right, let's say some good mornings here. Truax, what's up? David Coslin. It's just what you needed to start your day, right? Giant Debbie Downer. David Coslin, Chase Pellegrin, Cade Galt, good morning. Sean Salisbury, always good to listen to Tuesdays on AFR. Yeah, thank you, Cade. I appreciate you saying that, man. Sean's great. I love listening to Sean. He's such an elite, high-level analyst. To be able to get him every week is just awesome. And he's a guy who, did it at the highest level, as we know. He was at ESPN and had us falling out there. And he owns it, and he's just always says he's better for it, that he's grateful for everything he's been through. And living in Houston, doing morning radio there, contributes on a lot of shows, a lot of different projects as well. But we're lucky to get him every Tuesday. Dane Bergeron, good morning, man. Hope you're feeling better, Dane. Hope the crud is purging a little bit. Devin Kelly, good morning. Jason H, Tiger Den, what's going on? Trivia Carter, Gary Petrie, Larry Garner, Trey Guy, good morning. What kicks today? So, Trey, one of my new pair of Air Force Ones came in. They're sort of black and gray with sort of a patterned fabric on it. I'll post some pictures, but I think I'm gonna go with those today. I also got a pair of Jordan series. They're just standard black Jordan series shoes, white soles. I got a lunch today at City Club, so I may tone it down a little bit and go with those. We'll see. Hunter Broadhead, hey Matt, good morning. Do you think if Carmichael was going to be fired, we've heard it by now? No, I don't think necessarily, Hunter. I don't know that you necessarily would have heard it. I think really, especially if someone that you're interested in talking to, excuse me, is still playing, right? Still coaching. So I don't know. I think it's completely plausible that you wait a few days till after the season. I mean, unless if it's something that's a certainty and going to happen, you do it right after the season, like you've seen with some of the head coaching decisions and some coordinator jobs. But that is going to be a really interesting one, though. Hunter, is what they do with Pete Carmichael, because part of retaining Pete Carmichael was the whole idea of keeping the culture the same, and it didn't go well this year. I mean, that is just you can't argue with the objective data of how bad the Saints offense was. And this coaching staff is the one that made the decision to go with Andy Dalton, and you ended up on the season averaging 19 points a game. Like, how in the heck can you win games in the NFL scoring 19 a game? It's atrocious. I mean, here was we talked about this already, but if you go back to the Raiders game where you won 24-0. After that, you scored 13, 10, 27 in the win against the Rams. You got shut out by the Niners, first shutout in 20 years. And you scored 16, 21 against Atlanta, who's the worst team in the division. 17, 20, but that was actually, the offense scored 13 because you had the pick 6 against Philly. And then 7 against the Panthers. Just, you were atrocious. There's no justification for staying status quo on offense because your offense was terrible. Brad David, good morning. LSU basketball is a brutal conference schedule. Yeah, look, the conference is really good. So you're right, Brad, but everybody's got a brutal conference schedule because everybody in this league is good. Now LSU's got to play Bama twice, and so that's a short straw there. You play Arkansas twice, but whenever that was, I'm trying to think what year it was, 7-8 years ago, when the league had 3 teams in the NCAA tournament. The league collectively got together and said, we got to improve basketball. We've got to make a commitment to improve basketball. And they brought in, I believe, Mike Tranghese, the former Big East commissioner, to be a consultant. And the league just started hiring better coaches. I mean, even Mississippi State went from hiring Rick Ray to Ben Howland, who went to 3 Final Fours. You know what I mean? Georgia stinks at basketball. They hired Tom Crean. I mean, you'd been to Final Four, been the coach at Indiana and Marquette. They just started hiring, making a more conscious effort to hire bigger name, better, more proven coaches. And I mean, look at Tennessee. What they've become there under Barnes. Of course, Auburn hired Bruce Pearl. And anyway, I mean, you all know the list, but there's just been a bigger commitment. It's netted results, and the lower half of the league is going to struggle punching up in weight. And that's where LSU is right now. And LSU was part of that upper crust with Will Wade, but Will gets fired. You lose your entire roster. This was going to be a project. Remember whenever we looked at the transfer rankings last year, and people were excited because you got Cam Hayes from NC State, you got KJ, you got Juice Hill, you got Derek Fountain from Mississippi State. And a lot of people go, oh, look, man, they're getting trouble. Well, they had to fill the roster with guys, but when you looked at the transfer rankings, the players that they lost, Efton Reed, Alex Fudge, Brandon Murray, were all rated much higher than the players they brought in. So your roster downgraded. I mean, there's no way around that. But can they can they just stay afloat during this barrage that's coming to give themselves a shot down the stretch in conference play? That's kind of the question. All right, smash that like button if you would there on YouTube, Facebook. Please like the page, share the post. Appreciate y'all as always. Chase Pellegrin, let's see. Ty Fly, good morning. Hey, Dad. Good morning, Brant Roban. The steam is building for me and a buddy flying to PR for the UT LSU baseball game. Hope it works out. All right, man. You should come down, man. Come for the series. It'll be a great series. There'll be a ton of energy around that series. Deborah Coward, good morning. Tim Forshea, good morning. Great AFR yesterday. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. Tyler Alexander, good morning. Chuck Sanchez, what's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? Where are we? Good morning, Scone. Went to the game last night. Disappointed to see so many missed shots and weak rebounding. Chuck, it's because they don't have shooters, man. I mean, I think by now you all understand that. I don't need to keep saying it, but they don't have shooters. They don't have scorers. KJ Williams is the only guy that can get a shot inside and stretch a defense and stretch the floor and step back and make threes. Adam Miller, when he's going good, can get his shot and finish. Aside from that, it's going to be a matchup thing where can Trey Hannibal use his power and get to the rim and finish. Derek Fountain's really long. Can he give you second chance opportunities? Juice Hill's not giving you anything. I don't mean just to call him out, but you just, it's kind of what it is, man. Bubba Tatum, I laughed out loud at you and Musso learning live on air. Mattress Mac won $75 million. And not 7.5. You know what, Bubba? We talked about it when it happened. We played the video of him, bringing the wheelbarrow full of cash onto the plane. I mean, it's not like I didn't know. I just didn't remember that it was $75 million that he won. Charlie Cavell, what's up? Blake Betts, morning, bro. Been enjoying going to the girls' basketball games this season and last. How long do you think it'll take Kim to get to a Final Four? Blake, I think they're going to go to a Final Four this year. Now, I don't know that they're good enough to beat South Carolina yet. Now, they could, because the tournament is the tournament, right? I mean, the tournament is it ain't a best of 7. It's a one-game win and advance type scenario. So, anyway, I think they're going to be a 1 seed. I think they're going to be favored to win their region and go to a Final Four. We'll see if they can win it. And if not this year, next year will be the one where you go, all right, let's go. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Don't forget the whiskey sample. See. Cliff, I'm going to bring them to you. I don't have them poured, and it takes some time because you got to funnel in the little bottles and all that stuff. By the way, tonight, Scone and Tea, new location, tonight only. Okay, we are going to Rock Paper Taco on Perkins. And next week we'll be at another Rock Paper Taco, the one by campus. But tonight, Scone and Tea, 7 o'clock. If you watch, however you watch on YouTube, same thing, no different. But if you're going to join us tonight, Rock Paper Taco on Perkins for Scone and Tea. Zachary Snyder, morning, Matt. Thanks for making this drive to Freeport, Florida this morning a little less painful. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate you for being there, man. Safe travels. Official Friday, what's up, Reed Rule? Morning, Scone. Is the NIT starting to get out of range? Yeah, it is. I thought for this team, you'd probably need to be at 8 or 9 conference wins. You had 11 in the pre-conference, so if that puts you at 18 or 19 wins overall, that would put you right there in that conversation for the NIT. LSU's 12-4 right now. But again, when you look at the schedule, Bama, Auburn, Tennessee, Arkansas, your next 4 all against ranked teams. Texas Tech, and then Missouri, Bama also ranked. So 6 of your next 7 are against ranked teams, and you're not going to be favored in any of them. So if you lose all 7 of those, now all of a sudden you're 12-12. And then you play at Mississippi State, home against A&M, who already beat you, at Georgia, South Carolina, Vandy, at Ole Miss, Missouri, then at Florida, who beat you. You have 8 games remaining, and A&M and Florida have already beat you. So of those 8, can you go 6-2? That's what you would need to do essentially to get to 18 wins. And that might be exactly what you need to get into the NIT. But man, if this stretch, which is coming, right, this 7-game stretch, if you lose out in those 7 and you're already on a 3-game losing streak, that'd be a 10-game losing streak. Like, can this team stay engaged for that stretch run? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they're made of. Official Friday morning, Matt Reebok needs to sponsor you. Bring it on. Trivia Carter, all LSU does is throw threes, and they're not good at it. The difficult part is when you're not talented enough to get open looks elsewhere, you tend to settle for bad shots. And that's what this team is. Let's see, Brad David, do you think Mike McCarthy needs to win a playoff game to keep his job? So, Brad, I do. I know Jerry Jones said that his job doesn't come down to that. But now the caveat is, what does Dallas have a replacement in mind? I know everyone says Sean Payton. I don't know how realistic that is. But anyway, like, I don't think it's as cut and dried as he made the playoffs, he's back. I'd say the same thing for Brandon Staley in LA. Austin Burnham, Pels sees tonight, not very optimistic. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw, but Herb's on the injury report as well. So you're already down BI and Zion. You're going to be down Herb tonight as well. In Boston, I don't think that's going to go well. Dalton Barnett, morning Matty, do you think this LSU Bowl win will carry into next season, or was just a solid way to end the season? Either way, 63-7 was a beatdown. It was a beatdown, close to the Georgia score. I think it's all about, yes, I do. And here's what I mean, Austin, or Dalton. Here's why I think it matters. The alternative is, if you lost that game, then all of a sudden you go into the postseason on a 3-game losing streak, and you don't feel nearly as optimistic about the season. Getting that win, getting the 10, it just has a dramatically different feel and vibe around it going into the offseason than it would have. I'm not saying beating Purdue's JV by 8 touchdowns is some massively impressive feat, but it's a reminder that you are a good team, and you messed up against A&M, and you lost to the eventual champion Georgia. Wendell Norman, Jesse Brown, good morning. Ready for baseball? Listen to Jay on Rosters to Riches and got pumped. Yeah, check it out if y'all haven't done so yet. Rosters to Riches pod. We interviewed Jay Johnson. That episode dropped last week. Dane Bergeron, thank you, Matt. Credits finally started breaking. Good, Dane. Glad to hear that, man. Jason H. Shoe Gang, Jesse Brown, Chris Nelson, morning, Matt. Maybe you covered in a previous show. Do you really know what went down with DA and Winston? How do you feel not seeing the experiment take full flight? Yeah, I mean, they made their decision, man. I mean, they just made their decision. They wanted to go with Andy Dalton. Dennis Allen wasn't the coach when they brought in Jameis Winston. Sean Payton was. And Dennis Allen brought in Andy Dalton. So he went with the guy he wanted to go with. So they did. They scored 19 points a game. They stunk offensively, and Andy Dalton isn't very good. And if he's the quarterback again next year, you can expect similar results. Eddie O, morning Matt. I destroyed the like button. How's Drew? Drew's great. Thank you for asking, man. He's fired up to be back going to school every day. Loves going to St. Lillian. Great place, and they're awesome to him. As always, I'll shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing. Hudco's pinned there in the chat, so if you need a roof replacement, Hudco Roofing. Let me remind you as well, I want to keep hammering this. We absolutely do commercial jobs, all different types of commercial roofing, from replacements, large-scale TPO jobs, to we even run repair crews and maintenance contracts with commercial entities. And one of the reasons they love us is we're big enough to handle any kind of job, but we are locally owned and small enough, I want to use that word, to pick up the phone and do a repair job on the same day. I mean, that's one of the reasons a lot of our commercial clients love us is they have an issue, they call us, we go fix it that day. So if you or someone you know has commercial opportunities, would love to bid on any and all commercial jobs. So I'm happy to facilitate. You can email me, matt@hudcoroofing.com, matt@hudcoroofing.com, or you can fill out the form on the homepage. Restored Motion is going to see Crystal Poche here in a little bit and get me right. Of course, ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, Rapping Badges, what's going on? River Reese, what's up? Caleb, good morning. I thought the underdog stuff was a head scratcher, LOL. Oh, the Georgia. Yeah, if you missed the open of the show yesterday, we basically made fun of Georgia for playing the underdog. Nobody believed in this card. We went back and dug up so much preseason audio predictions, points for everything, and everything was like, Georgia's going to be awesome. Georgia's going to be awesome. You literally had a guy on the field after the game saying, y'all thought we were going to be 6-6, 5-7. Like, literally nobody thought that. Official Friday, DB room solid. What's your top concern offensively? Running back. Do you have an explosive dynamic back? Like, I don't want the quarterback to be the leading rusher next year. That's a concern. You need somebody in that room to step up and say, give me the ball 150 times. And the next guy to get it 50 to 70 times. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have that. I don't know that they do. Reed Rule, looking to draft. Really think running back needs to be a big Saints priority. Kamara's suspension looming. He's not getting any younger. Yeah, Reed, look, we talked about that last year. I thought it was a priority in last year's draft, but they ended up trading a bunch of picks, had fewer assets, and ended up not taking them back. The guy I really liked was Kyron Williams out of Notre Dame. Can they find that guy in this year's draft? They need to. They tried a lot of different ways to do it, right? They signed Abram Smith from Baylor. They worked out guys. I mean, tried to go get Sony Michel. He just picked Miami, right? So they know it's a need. Pabler 15, what's up? Are you fired up for baseball season? Absolutely. Jared Esprit, what's up? Leon Williams, what's going on? Let me go quickly here. I'm almost done. Zachary Snyder, saw reports about LSU getting a DT from the transfer portal, but chose FSU. Any insight on this? Sorry if you touched on it. I'm not sure which name that is. Let me see. Braden Fisk. Yeah, Braden Fisk is a guy from Western Michigan. He was in everybody's top 5 transfer portal lists. LSU was in. Everybody offered him. But LSU loaded up at DT. So, he's a good player going to Florida State. Leon Williams, what's up? Jesse Brown, mad at the Saints draft a quarterback. Does Dalton stay on the roster as QB2? The answer is always look at the contract. He signed a 1-year deal with the Saints, 1 year, $3 million. So I'm sure they would offer him an opportunity to come back at a similar salary. Would he take it? I don't know, but I also know what other opportunities he would have out there. So I would say yes. Spurge, what's up? Jason, Matt, is it shuffle time? I'm short on time. Jared Esprit wants the jingle. Okay, If y'all want the jingle, here we go.
Call someone you know. Scone, Ontario. All you need is hardcore. Call hardcore roofing. 364-1007.
Cody Thibodeau, I'm a Cowboys fan. Jerry wants a yes man. As much as I would love to get Peyton, it'll never happen. That and Dak isn't the quarterback to get to any Super Bowl. Jesse Post, Jesse Brown. Derek Davis transferred to Pitt. Talked about that a bit yesterday on AFR. Eddie O, Matt, were you surprised Derek Davis left after playing the bowl game? No, I was not surprised he left. I think it was a good opportunity for him to get on the field and get reps. Like, he knew he was going to be able to play, so it's why he played. Leon Williams, if the Saints get a first-round pick, what should they get besides a quarterback? Biggest need? It depends where you are in the draft, but you definitely need help at safety, and you definitely need help on the interior defensive line. I mean, well, you need ends too. I mean, you need defensive line help. I mean, your elite run defense took a step back this year because your defensive line, like David Onyemata, didn't have a great year, and you just aren't what you were on the interior. I mean, you need a run stuffing defensive lineman. And Leandra Lewis, good morning, all y'all. I think we're done. Stephen Miller, what's good? Rocking my black Hudco hat today around VR. I love it. Thank you so much, dude. Have a great day. Bubba Smith, all right, I think we're done. Chris Domingue, feels BK is recruiting the same type of players did Notre Dame. This isn't Notre Dame. Go get the best of the best. Chris, I mean, they're top 5, man. I mean, we can explore that another day, but I disagree with you, man. Okay, I gotta go. Charlie Cavell, what was the podcast site again? Any podcast app, but Rosters to Riches is the podcast. Go check out the Jay Johnson episode that dropped last week. Rosters to Riches is the name of the pod. It's an NIL pod that I do every week with Jonathan Pixley from Match Point. Okay, I gotta go, y'all. 8 o'clock, gotta get Drew up, get him to school. Y'all have an awesome day. YouTube, smash the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. LSU Daily's already live. AFR at 3. And Scone and Tea tonight from Rock Paper Taco on Perkins. We'll see y'all there. Peace.